In Irvine, California, in one of those quiet neighborhoods of low houses, neat gardens and warm evening lights, there was a house like many others. A house with a small driveway, a few flowers by the door, and a dog. A golden retriever named Roger. Everyone knew Roger. He was one of those dogs you don't forget. Not for how he looked, but for how he made you feel. In that neighborhood, the gardens were open. No gates, no barriers, and Roger was free. He was often there on the patio, lying calmly as if watching the world go by. Then as soon as he saw someone, he would get up in a second. He would run toward people, wagging his tail in that slightly clumsy, tender way that made everyone smile. He greeted the children, let himself be petted, and stayed a few seconds longer, as if he didn't want that moment to end. Roger lived with his owner, Edward Parker, an elderly man close to 80, one of those people everyone knew. Always kind, always with a gentle word. He had moved there about 15 years earlier. With his wife, Elizabeth, they had come from Arizona, from a different life, of work and responsibilities. They had chosen that neighborhood to start again slowly, to live the quietest years of their life. But Elizabeth passed away after a few years, and from that moment, that house became quieter. He had a son, but he lived far away. They saw each other only a few times a year, and maybe for that reason, Edward had found his own way to feel less alone. The kids from the neighborhood often stopped by, sometimes to help in the yard, mowing the lawn, picking up leaves. But the truth is they stayed, because it felt good to be there. Edward would sit them down, bring out something to eat, a simple snack prepared with care, as if that gesture meant something more, as if in that moment he wasn't alone anymore. He told stories about when he was young, about baseball, and how he said he was pretty good. Sometimes he took out old photographs and showed them to the kids, and they really listened. They laughed. They asked questions. And in that small space, something rare was created, a connection. Edward was not a sad man. He was a pleasant person. Sometimes the neighbors invited him over, for dinner, for barbecues, and he would gladly go. He knew how to be with people. He knew how to make them feel at ease. And Roger was always there, always by his side. Then one day, something changed. At first, it was just a sound, a whimper. Roger was outside the door. But not like usual. He wasn't wagging his tail. He wasn't moving. He was whining. People noticed, but thought it was just a moment. Then evening came, and the sound didn't stop. It continued through the night, a low, persistent whimper, like a request. The next morning, the neighbors started to worry. Roger was still there, in the same spot, in front of the door. He hadn't eaten. He hadn't moved. When someone gets close, he suddenly gets up, moves toward them, barks, then goes back to the door, again and again, as if he wanted to say something. As if he was trying to be understood. They try to ring the doorbell. They try to look through the windows. No answer. At that point, they call for help. The firefighters arrive shortly after. They go inside. The door opens. And the silence changes everything. Edward Parker is in his bedroom. In his bed. He passed away during the night. Quietly, without being able to call for help. And outside, Roger had stayed there. For hours, calling for someone who could come, trying to save the one who was everything to him. Among the neighbors, there is a family, a boy who knew Roger well. He used to play with him often. That dog wasn't just the neighbor's dog. He was part of his everyday life. And when everything becomes clear, something simple but important happens. They decide not to leave him alone. They take him in. At first, Roger is confused. He looks at the door. He waits. But little by little, something changes. He finds new hands to pet him, new voices, new presences, and that boy becomes his anchor. Today, Roger still lives there, in the same neighborhood, in the same gardens, and somehow, he hasn't lost anything. Because the love he had didn't end. It simply found a new home. And maybe that's exactly what dogs teach us, that true love doesn't stop. It doesn't break, it remains. Even when everything else changes.